This is, what is this, episode 15, 14, 12?
Since
It's definitely not 12,
you don't know,
Bob.
don't say it. This is another episode.
This is another episode.
There you go.
The next installment of. Yeah.
Yep, and Jake's here again, and I'm also here again with...
Ty DiMartino.
Mary?
Question mark?
Are you sure?
Exclamation mark, question mark. Gloria?
You were really into that one, bud.
We are speechless after watching
A Nightmare on Elm Street,
the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
1984. This was a European print, interestingly enough.
I don't
Why?
know what that means.
Yeah.
So DVDs are broken up, or these are actually Blu-rays, but discs are broken up by region, so that if you live in Europe, you have to buy a European Blu-ray player. But the
Like
Blu-ray,
a PAL versus an NTSC? Or
yeah,
something.
precisely that.
I like your
Yeah,
funny words, Magic Man.
They were not mine.
but this is a global Blu-ray player that we use, so we can watch movies from anywhere.
Ooh.
But don't make the mistake I did and buy a Japanese print that only has Japanese subtitles, because it really doesn't work at all. Not even slightly.
I still think you could get the story, the general gist. Guy,
No, and it's-
sweater, hat, claws.
Yeah, the last time I watched Yojimbo, it didn't work out that well for me, but
Is that the Japanese version of Dumbo?
no.
Jojo.
It's Kurosawa time.
Kira Sedgwick, you said?
Keira Knightley.
So Ty is taking over
There
the
you
Film
go.
Society, because
Exactly.
I'm going to commit harikari after that last comment.
Which one is seppuku? Where you stab yourself with your sword? Isn't that what that's called?
Oh,
Harikari is where you shame your group of samurai, so you stab yourself.
I thought that was
with a blade up.
seppuku or seppuku.
it's a Sudoku.
Yes, Sudoku is a puzzle,
Like
buddy.
if
Well,
you
I've
get a
been playing
Sudoku puzzle
solitaire.
wrong, you have to impale yourself on a
With your
sword
pencil.
with your pencil
Yeah,
or
with your
whatever.
pen
Whatever's
pencil.
close.
Writing me down.
Some people prefer the eye. I prefer the stomach. It's harder to survive through the eye. But anyway,
This is appropriate
yeah.
conversation
This is
considering what we just
wonderful.
watched.
Yeah. So, how was that for you? You're not a big slasher horror guy.
No, but this is early in the genre, so they're not trying to outdo themselves. So I kind of like, the early Halloweens, the early Friday the 13th. But this was good because it's like the first season of a reality show. They're authentic because they haven't seen themselves yet. So as they know, oh, this can make money. Oh, people really liked it when we did. Oh, so it really kind of, I don't know, clouds the art, if it is art, if you want to. Less creative as art.
Well, it people that are fans of the genre, they are really into the creativity of the kill. And so I think that muddies the water quite a bit.
Okay.
Although I still think beating somebody over a tree in their sleeping bag is probably my favorite kill, and that was Jason or Friday the 13th Part 3, I think. But this has some really great kills in it. I mean, they turn Johnny Depp into a
Water fountain.
bloody fountain. Yeah. He started his career with bed and how he
What?
ended his marriage.
Wait, what? How did he
You
start
obviously
his-
didn't follow the
Is
court
that
case.
wait? What was the? No, I'm saying that's how he started his.
Yeah,
career?
because they pulled him into the bed. This is Johnny Depp's first movie. This is his first acting
the
thing.
bed. That's what that's what I'm stuck on.
No, you
Kind of, actually.
Well,
I mean,
there's a cleanup, definitely.
There's
Spill
definitely
on aisle 4.
Yeah. Clean up on aisle, sexy Johnny.
No, I'm sorry, no.
The haircut threw you, didn't it?
I said a lot about what's his face, Mr. Bates, but not Johnny Depp.
Oh, you mean
I
Norman
disagree.
Bates?
Yeah,
Oh.
Norman Bates.
You were really into
But
Norman.
yeah, but Johnny Depp doesn't know.
You didn't like that feather job, bud.
No. No, I don't like him very much either, but
I was shocked how small the cast is. It's like
It's
four
very-
teenagers,
Yep.
20
couple
cops.
sets of parents, and 47 cops. That's where the budget went for the cops. But no, it was a
Four
tiny
kills.
cast. Yeah. Well,
4 kills.
Spoiler alert. Yeah.
Well,
Well, no. Who? Where?
if you're
what was the
listening
fourth?
to this, her mother,
Oh well, yeah.
twice. Kind of.
they?
The end left
Yeah.
it up.
The ending so they open with building the glove, which I think is a very strange choice, because that's like deep flashback, right?
Right.
Because it's like he's building the glove that he uses to murder and molest children with, and then
Well, did he need to build a new one after she committed theft?
When she stole it. and put
Yeah, like
up
it
in
might
the-
not have been that much of a flashback.
well, I'm pretty sure you don't need the real thing to murder people in their dreams, but maybe.
It would be nice to
maybe.
have. Well, he kind of just existed in the dreamscape, right? Until
Yeah,
she
pretty
dragged
much.
him out.
She dragged him
so
out.
she would have to. He would have to make it.
Yeah, which I'm not entirely
He's
sure.
somewhat of an artist. If you-
This is the least, I don't know, straightforward ending, I think, maybe in any slasher movie ever.
Well, I think it is appropriate because it's.
I still don't know how it ends.
Exactly. Is she? Are we dreaming? Is any of it real? So I
That's
mean,
a
that
great
was very beautiful and sweet at the end, or are we looking at Nancy's dream at the end,
I mean,
or Mom's dream? Because mom gets killed.
I mean, but this is so early on in the slasher genre. I mean, The Grandfather's Halloween, that was 1978. This came out in 1984. You're talking 6 years later.
Yeah.
Great kills, great effects. I love the wall pushing. I love the blood fountain. There's a lot of great stuff. And in terms of page timing, they can't hear you nodding, bud.
no, but if I take the mic up while I nod,
Exactly.
I might get some jostling.
That was Mary nodding. I'm agreeing.
Very aggressive.
Along with the wire attached to her chin.
That actually bothered me. That whole scene. Because if that is like an EEG, no, because I've gotten several EEGs and they put glue in your hair.
EKG, bud.
EKG's heart.
Oh,
EKG
you're right.
is the heart.
Okay.
EEG is the one, especially like if you're sleeping, you get them, and you can get them in weird spots. The chin makes not really any sense, but like you get them here and you get some on your heart. It's like they're also monitoring heart rate, but you get them all over your head, and you have to use so much of this like gel that's like conductive to
Yeah.
do it, and there was none of that, and
Her-
that bothers me.
Her doctor was Roger Rabbit.
That's true.
So I don't
He
think,
was a rabbit?
No, the movie Roger Rabbit.
Please lay still.
Yeah, so I don't think that it was to code what actually he was doing.
I was
think-
confused because the mom comes back with him and starts smoking in there. I'm like, I don't know if that's really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Huh.
Have you guys ever been in a public place that allowed smoking in your lifetimes?
Yeah.
Have you really?
Like a casino.
Like a bar, yeah, a casino, or I mean,
Yeah.
like not many places indoors, a few places indoors, especially like it's mainly vaping that people do inside
Right.
now.
Vaping now, but
But smoking it's usually outside because
You-
I can't understand why anybody would want to smoke indoors in public, anyways.
because it's awesome when you're drinking alcohol and
Just take a step
hanging out.
outside.
I
I
wish
used
I
to
could have
work
smoked in
bingo.
theaters.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I used to work bingo, and we would have smoke breaks, and so just
That's
like
so
take
weird.
5 steps outside. No, it's not weird because they're all old and decrepit. Like first of all, you don't need to be smoking anyways, but second of all, you're gonna ruin everybody else's lung.
The
You just
80s
put
were a simpler time.
smog and
And this PSA was brought to you by.
Very, yeah, anytime.
So Freddy was smoking. Well, kind of at the end, he got smoked.
Gotta, yeah, he
got
got-
smoked at the end.
And before the movie took place, he also got smoked.
Poor Freddy. People don't talk enough about his trauma.
Explain Mom's backstory a little bit, because I think that kind of
So-
went really quick. So Mom dreamed of Freddy.
No,
thought
This
so-
is real.
So all of this started. So Freddie was like a janitor. I believe he was a janitor at like a school, like an elementary school.
Okay.
And he would slowly abduct children, and he would be inappropriate with them, and then kill them.
Okay, in the
Which
incinerator?
isn't good.
Yeah, which is
Right.
not.
And we can
good.
all agree about
Don't-
that.
Yes, we all
Yes.
We're
agree.
split on smoking, but this is bad.
This is common ground for
Yeah,
us.
it's in the air. It's up in the up in the air with smoking. But children, nope. I think we're all on the same page there, bud. But anyway, he would children and then kill them.
Okay.
And so when they arrested him, they caught him, right?
Mhm.
But when they signed the arrest warrant, it wasn't where it should have been signed.
Oh, right.
So he got out, he got off, and so the parents tracked him. Paperwork, exactly, yeah. You know, the police and their paperwork. But they tracked him to the boiler room that he was taking the children, and they, like, burnt him inside the building.
Who's they?
The parents. So her mother and father were part of it. Her father was...
Grandpa. Nancy's grandma and grandpa.
No, Nancy's mom and dad. So her dad is the cop.
Right.
So it was partly his fault that he got away.
Okay, so this...
That's what I was confused about. So it happened during like the protagonist's lifetime, because when the mom was talking about it, at first I thought it was the mom's childhood.
Right. That's what I thought.
But then she said us parents
Us
when she was
parents,
talking about it. So I was like,
PTA.
yeah, like when that's what
So-
confused me.
Yeah.
So
we had a
much of-
pizza sale on our PTA, but we didn't kill the
Cookies?
janitor. Exactly. It was a fundraiser.
You didn't kill the janitor?
No, we did as a
I went
fundraiser for
to
the
a different
PTO
meeting.
Exactly.
What did that janitor do to you tonight?
No, I'm saying we did
It's a
not.
safe
We did
space.
not, we did not kill the janitor at PTA.
I mean, if he's like Freddie, maybe you should have, bud.
No, but our
you
janitor's
can tell
fine. No, it's fine.
It's
Right,
an
it's
honorable
okay.
profession. It's the other stuff Freddie did that was not okay. Let's be very clear.
Nobody's, we're not talking janitor.
No.
Exactly. Janitors are fine.
They're great. I love
They're
them.
I love them
they're
too.
the
They're
best.
eyes and ears of the school.
They make me feel okay when I sit down to tinkle. Wait, everybody doesn't do that.
Are they in with you there, Jake? Okay, just wondering.
They hold my hand. I get scared over bodies of water. You get drowned in like 2 inches of water, bud.
So the question on the table is not about about janitors, but did this happen to Nancy's mom when she was a
No.
child, or did it happen to
No.
Nancy when she was a child?
Neither.
This what?
Okay, so my understanding is that Nancy was way too young for this to have occurred to her, but her dad was on the police force.
So
And-
why was
But it was
Nancy's
the
mom
PT
going
like
to
the parents,
going?
Because
why
she's
was she
supporting
care?
her husband. She's like,
Well,
let's
no,
get
it
rid
said
of this.
like us parents. Like
Yes, I
us
felt like
parents
she was a
implies
school
a
parent.
child.
Right.
Oh yeah, she could have been in like pre-K, kindergarten,
Yeah,
not
she will-
remembered.
My assumption, she either A, was not born yet, or she was very, very young and too young for any of that gross Freddy stuff to be happening when he was alive. So,
So mom just grabbed a torch and went
Well,
to
the
the
mom
school.
I think
really
she just
bugged
had like
me.
an obligation to like help with the parents because of the
Yeah.
cousin being a cop and stuff.
yeah.
Okay, so it was a
Like,
community thing.
yeah, like-
Yeah, like, my husband dropped the ball, so I'll help you murder a guy. you
Right.
know?
Hell yeah. I say yeah. We've
That's-
all been there.
yeah.
That's really. You couldn't do that in a big town.
Or was Nancy one of his victims? Let's young enough not to
It
block
doesn't-
it out, and that's why she has the dreams of
Or
them.
did she have an older sibling?
Would that have been better
True.
writing? Probably.
Yeah, heck yeah.
But
I think it would have been better if it happened to her mom.
Yeah.
That would at least explain like the gatekeeping
drinking?
and the drinking. But she's like, Freddie's gone.
But can
And
you
it's like,
pass that down? Like, why does Nancy have all
It's
the
genetic.
dreams? Okay.
but also,
It's a blood curse.
Nightmares are genetic.
Did you
So-
not know that?
Exactly.
in later
I just
installments...
learned about that in sleep apnea class.
Oh, that's fun, bud. So, in later installments, the idea was that Freddy was getting revenge on the parents by murdering the children of the parents involved. It doesn't really work once you get into, like late 90s, early 2000s, and he's fighting Jason. But for these earlier sequels, I mean, it's not a perfect movie.
No.
You're forgetting, like, he did Swamp Thing before this, right? This
Okay.
was his Wes Craven's 5th movie.
Oh wow.
But up until Swamp Thing, it was all pretty much exploitation. And let's be honest, like, Swamp Thing and a lot of his later movies are also exploitation in their own way. So, did he ever not make an exploitative film? Red Eye, maybe?
Maybe.
I hate that movie.
You hate Red Eye?
I hate that movie just because the two people sat next to me on my red eye flight from San Francisco
Watching
to
Red Eye?
Dulles Airport. No, they were talking the entire time, and I had noise canceling headphones on, listening to music. I could still hear them. They were talking the whole time. They were complaining because it was a red eye, and it was like annoying, yeah, and it was uncomfortable. But they were like, "Oh, we're not going to be able to sleep. We could." if you stop talking. And they kept talking the whole time. And then at one point, this one dude turned to the dude, and he was like, the other dude, and he was like, have you seen the movie Red Eye? And the other dude's like, oh no, like, oh, what's it about? And they start talking about it, and this dude's hyping it up, and they're talking for like, seriously, like 10 minutes about this movie. And they're like, oh, who's that main actress, whatever. And then the dude's like, so, like, is it a good movie? And he goes, I don't know, I've never seen it. What? Like, that's
Amazing.
insane. Like, that was like the most infuriating thing to me. And then I saw him like after the flight, after we, were back in the airport, and I was like, I'm not a violent person, but, but like I literally felt the need for someone to like restrain me. I had a violent urge.
I'll give you Red Eye.
I was literally so angry. So yeah, I hate that movie. I don't care if it's good. I will never watch it.
Do you know who Cillian Murphy is?
Oh, I love Cillian Murphy.
Celine Dion. That's right, bud.
No, Cillian.
Yeah. I thought it was Killian.
I thought
is
it was
it not
Cillian.
Killian?
I thought
Is it Killian or Cillian?
I thought it was Cillian, but I don't know.
Like Sicilian pizza.
How are you going to find out on the interwebs? It's going to say C because it is a C. Yeah.
I've heard both, but I just like I think I honestly do say Cillian Murphy, but because you said Killian, I had to say Cillian.
I get it. I misspelled pronunciation. I'm sure of that.
P-R-O.
Google will work. It's used to my illiteracy. I'm the most illiterate writer you know, bud.
Cillian. Celiac.
No.
Cha. Cillian
Cillian.
Murphy.
Is he in
Cillian.
that?
He's in Red Eye,
Oh
yes.
wait, is that the movie with? No, I'm thinking of a different movie with.
But only if you get the European print of the DVD.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I have the Japanese. But the dub is in Korean. I'm unsure about that one. No, what's with him and Elizabeth Olsen? Is that Red Light or is that Red? What is that movie?
What are
Something
you
with red in it.
talking about?
A film.
This is Film Society, so I think it's a film.
Oh, I thought this was Dave and Buster's.
Exactly.
Oh.
That's why you're trying to play
Easy
skee ball.
mistake.
That's right.
Easy mistake. No,
I bet you never see somebody play skee ball this way, bud. So, and did you know the timing for this?
No.
You mean the
In
way
terms
the
of
acts
how
will
it's
break out?
scripted, yeah,
Oh,
how
yeah.
it was flawless. Like,
Yeah, it's
10
very
minute kill, 10 minute kill, 10 minute kill.
An hour and 30 minutes.
Yep,
Every act was a half hour.
90 minutes long.
Yep. And
I did like it was short.
yeah, it was short, and it really just kind of, if you wanted to break it down, it entered the second act at 30 minutes, then the third act at 60 minutes, and wrapped it up. And third act twist. Yeah. You could study this.
Yeah, no, this is great, and it's also you're talking about a lot of people's first. You're talking about, like it still feels very primordial for a slasher film.
Totally.
Because then you think about what they're doing in Scream. Do you know the definition of primordial?
No, that's why I said
Okay.
totally.
Sit, amen, preach.
Slay, son. But it's you can kind of see where the Jesus Christ. You can see where the evolution of like the complexity of kills starts coming in here, because like in Halloween it's all very simple.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, and it's even Roger Corman in terms of like, we need nudity here, here, and here. And this was shot a lot more classy than maybe every other slasher in the genre.
I don't know if
In
I agree
terms
with
of, like-
classy, but it was, they took some chances. I mean,
Well, yes, there was some really great show, but in terms of like
framing of
how they framed and how
like
they
the bathtub
treated
scene and the bed scene,
how
and-
they treated the female characters, like
right.
although pulling the blanket up, I've never experienced that in actual life. That seems like a movie thing only.
What?
Were you guys? You
weren't
came
here
in
for
late.
Tina's kill.
Like if someone's naked and they pulled it.
Yeah, like especially of this era, I think it's getting better now. But well, they just don't do a lot of sexuality in film and television anymore, really. But thanks,
we used
James
to be
Franco.
a proper country.
That's right. Thanks, James Franco.
That's his fault. Yeah.
It is what he
But
did.
it's your
Anyway,
fault that we watched Spring Breakers. So You missed a good one, Ty.
I did. Oh man.
You did. How will you ever live without seeing that Harmony
I'll
Korine?
have to catch up.
I like Spring Breakers. I'm gonna go on record to say I like Spring Breakers. I don't know what you have against it. Maybe all the
I
nudity.
think we watched a different movie. It was
I didn't hate
fine.
it. It was entertaining.
It was.
like
I liked it, but I also unironically enjoyed Jack and Jill.
Oh, that's right.
Like that's
That's
one of
right.
It's one of her faves.
yeah. I genuinely enjoy that. But don't.
Hey man, some people get all the taste. I get it.
Exactly.
It's fine.
I did watch Jack and Jill from beginning to end.
Exactly, because you were so enraptured
So
by
you were-
Adam Sandler's performance. I mean,
So-
that's the duality of that man.
Right.
So let's
truly.
let's just break this down for people. The one person listening to this. Okay.
And it's me.
It is
it's
you.
me re-listening.
So what we've learned is that you love Jack and Jill.
Dude, it's such a good. I was actually going through my movie. I sent Gloria. I have votes for Future Film Society picks based off of that. But I
Are
don't,
Jack and, is Jack
I
and Jill
don't
on
own
it?
Jack and Jill, but I do vote. I want.
Oh,
I don't think I own a copy
Listen,
of
said
myself.
I want
we
an
should have a
Adam
vote.
Sandler.
I think. Listen, I think that maybe everyone,
I want
regular
Underdog.
attendees, suggest the films, and then we like do secret ballot.
I'm putting in the hours.
Well,
I'm in the
we even do that,
trenches.
because
Film
I
Society.
like that idea, but also we should see what licenses are available.
That's
for
true.
next-
Yeah.
Jack and Jill may be locked down.
And that's okay. But I would.
Everybody wants to screen Jack and Jill, but
And
I
that
don't
part where she
blame
gets on the
them.
pony and the pony
Dude, did you-
collapses. So fun.
So good. And when they're no, because the whole premise is that Al Pacino is in love with a female Adam Sandler. That is comedic gold.
I think the
The
premise of this.
Dunkachino ad.
Yeah, Al
You're
needs to make money
joking.
because his ex is really just kind of bleeding him dry. Isn't that true?
Also, the premise of this
I'm getting
podcast
heated.
is that Mary is a body shamer. Clearly, that's what we learned from that.
What did I say? What did I say?
That poor girl killed a pony, and it makes you laugh. So it's my favorite part.
No, she didn't do it because I think it was more the pony's fault. I think she's a normal
That
person.
weak jointed
Yeah, exactly. I think it was more on the pony. Jill's not overweight, is she?
She's the same as Adam Sandler.
She's just annoying.
So yes, yes.
Not
she annoys the
overweight.
pony to death.
She's big boned.
Yes.
See, I
Can you
think
do an
I.
imitation? I'm gonna try.
Of Adam Sandler. I think I'd
Jill.
have to listen to it first. Of
It's
Jill.
something like this.
No, it's kind of like, oh, but like not quite as old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, family. I don't know. I used to be able to do Whitey from 8 Crazy Nights.
Oh, okay.
That's a technical foul. You know what I mean?
It's just the side of it.
I love that. That's one of the better. Adam
Admittedly,
Sandler
that
movies.
one is really good. I
It's
really
so
like
good.
it. Crazy Nice.
That I need to
There's
watch
a technical foul,
I used to sing that at basketball all the time.
but
when I
I'd
got a
like to
technical-
see it anyway.
that and like the foot bath. That's all I remember from 8 Crazy Nights right now.
So, how'd you feel about? I'm trying
Anyway,
to
back
move.
to the.
Yeah, I'm trying to move away from Mary, but she's out of control.
Oh,
That's right.
She just dropped Mike.
She did.
I just walked.
Mary, come back. Come back.
I'm dropping Mike because that's all I got to say about Jack and Jill, bud.
It's such a good film. Anyways, loved this.
So this was good. This was a good one to look at and study because
Yeah.
it is the beginning of. So wait, help me here. So
Why did I
Wait.
choose this over Halloween?
because
It had a longer title.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
we pay by the word.
Well, because I think everybody is showing, like Halloween is shown, and I didn't want to make the Jaws mistake that I made in the summer.
Do you think that oh, but good quiet. That Friday the 13th, which came out before this.
I was born on Friday the 13th.
Ooh.
Can you believe it?
If that came out before and then this one came out, it raised the bar in like kills and campiness and giving the killer like a kind of a, because Michael is a killer in Halloween. Michael.
Myers.
That was
Myers.
80, so this is 4 years after Friday the 13th.
But the first one.
Of the first one, yeah.
When did the second one come out?
81, part 3 is 82. Wow. And then 84 is the final chapter. So they're just cranking out Jason.
Right.
But so the reason I chose this specifically is all of the early slasher movies, right? It's always a silent killer that wears a mask.
Right.
But in a modern context, when you think about a slasher, you think about a killer that has a million one-liners, that, you know, all these funny quirky
No,
the
it's
Ginger
Chucky.
Dead Man, Chucky, the
That's
Leprechaun.
not what I think about.
Like the
Puppet
The
Master.
Leprechaun, that's not what I think about when I think of a slasher film.
Do you
the
not?
Leprechaun.
But they're
I
like
do.
their
I love
characters
the
are almost
Leprechaun.
like humorous. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Like,
I don't think of slashers. I don't know. 'Cause, well, when I think,
what do you think about a slasher? What do you think a slasher
I think
is?
more like this.
I think of like Scream and like more
Well, I think I think more like.
Does the Scream killer have one-liners? Like, does he walk around and
Kind of
say,
has
Yeah.
jokes, but
Yeah.
I think about the parodies more than anything. Like those
That's
are the
what I'm
ones that I
saying.
remember.
And I think the parody,
the Wayans brothers.
like the parody homage stuff, I think a lot of it comes directly out of Friday or Nightmare on Elm Street. Because again, a lot of the things about Rick and Morty, right? What was it, Scary Terry? You know what I'm talking about?
I have
not seen
like,
Rick and Morty.
I have like 4 references from Rick and Morty. Like
all together?
All together. Oh, okay.
my mind can only take
And
about
they're 4
episodes.
4 references from one episode.
It's one line actually. It's each word.
It was 10 minutes of an episode.
I get but there was a whole episode with where Scary. Was it Scary Terry? I believe he kept going into like Rick and Morty's dreams and trying to kill them, and he kept saying, "I'm gonna get you, bitch!" Like,
Well, I think what's her face,
Tremendous.
Nancy, had more jokes than him in this.
she had some jokes.
She had, yeah,
She
she
had
had
some
some jokes. Like she had the lines and everything. Like she had one-liners, and she was coming for everybody. But then he was kind of just like, "I'm gonna get you."
You know who wasn't coming in this movie? Johnny Depp. Let me tell you.
Poor Johnny.
I know.
So did
This is the only time anybody's ever said "poor Johnny Depp" in the history of Johnny.
Oh,
Depp.
during the court case, I
Johnny
said
Depp.
poor Johnny Depp a lot.
I didn't.
I didn't at all. No, because he was clearly
He's an
winning
asshole.
that.
I think he's an asshole.
I mean,
I'll go on the record.
You
on this
mean-
podcast?
you mean a guy that spends $40,000 a month on wine? Like
Have you ever watched I Think You Should Leave on Netflix?
Why?
a while ago.
Dude, I always want to reference it in this, but I can't.
It's Todd.
Oh,
Get him in here.
He didn't see it.
No.
No.
Barely. What do I add to this conversation? I could just not watch the movie and still come.
you
and,
could, matter of fact.
add about just as much.
Jack and Jill was a great film. That's what you add every week.
I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street is fine, but let me
Like,
tell you about
did you see
Jack and
Jack
Do
Jill.
you know what would make it better?
When a crushed
A
pony.
conniving twin sister.
She wasn't conniving. She was just meddling.
I think
and
he
full
was,
of-
if
he was-
anything.
yeah.
Adam Sandler's always like the
Yeah, but he tries to be
villain.
too cool for school in this one, and Jack
In
was
all
just like
of them, pretty much,
yeah.
he's too cool for school. Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, quite literally.
No, but he's
Yeah.
playing characters. This one here, he was just totally playing himself.
I don't think he was.
And what was the one that he was a comedian that he was dying?
Oh,
Punch- not
funny
Punch-
people.
Funny people.
Funny people.
Punch Drunk Love, he had anger issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Paul
He
Thomas
needs me,
Anderson.
he needs me. That's what I love that song.
So anyway, back to
Back to Adam
what
Sandler.
we're
I
actually
mean-
trying to
Like
do.
Adam Sandler.
Dude, has Adam Sandler ever worn a striped sweater?
All I'm gonna say is that I have seen him and
I'm trying to get it back for you, Jake.
Freddy Krueger in the same room.
You've never seen
I've
them.
never seen them in the same room or the same
Nor
movie.
would you.
I'm
Why-
gonna
no, Why
make-
would you?
I'm gonna make Mary watch me jump through that window over there.
Honestly, if you could do it like the mother at the end of the movie.
Okay.
See, we brought it back.
We did.
So she was sucked through the door.
Dude, she's
of the window.
tiny. That's a tiny window.
It's a tight fit.
Yeah. That's what
Back
Johnny
into
Depp would
the
have said.
house. Well, maybe Freddie. Listen, you know how Freddie was in the
No, I-
boiler room,
Yes.
and then she had to bring him out, and he had to chase her through the house.
He
Maybe
wasn't in the boiler room. He was in the basement.
he was in the basement, but
He was
then
in
she
the
went down. She
sub-basement.
went down the sub basement. She was like in the school boiler
That was the
room.
wine cellar.
Johnny Depp's wine
Johnny
cellar.
Depp, $40,000 a month.
Yes, right.
No, but I'm wondering if he is now in the house, like since she kind of brought him
Well,
out
he
of
went
the.
in the bed.
Right, he went into bed, but he's maybe living in the house. That's why he could
lives
pull his
in the
arm through.
walls.
But
right.
then he came out of the bed and fell into the girl. This, I mean, out of context, is terrible.
Wait,
sounding.
what? What do you mean?
Like
at
at
the
the end,
end.
he jumped run down the stairs, and she was at the door, and he kind of
No,
like,
that
went
was
to Nancy.
that was after.
At the very
That was
end.
at the very
Oh,
beginning.
He pulled her mother down, right? And then he pops up through them, and she's like, "I know you're there, Freddy." And he cuts the sheet open, and
Right,
when he
right.
dives for her, he like
He falls into
turns
her.
into energy and falls
Right,
into
Well,
her.
that is when. That's not him in the house. That's not when she's awake.
That's him in the house,
She's
bud.
yeah, but she's okay, bud. She is awake when he is on fire, and when
Correct.
he goes into the bed. She's like,
Correct.
go downstairs, give me a minute. And then she lays on the bed and goes to sleep, I figured, because she falls back asleep. I figured that's what happened, is like she went to sleep then,
Finally.
went to dream to see him, and was like, guess what? Well, you can't get me now.
I
That's what I figured had happened.
I've never understood the ending of this movie.
That's just what I figured happened.
I've seen it a million times. I honestly, what's a
I think
dream?
this
What's
is
real?
dream-
I have
right,
no
right, right.
idea.
I think that's what we're supposed to.
She
Like,
gets in a
I don't
car.
I
think-
just assume when music intensifies that she's dreaming.
Well, she says like, "I want everyone back. I want my friends."
Which
and
that's not how murder works.
So,
Like that's not.
but also
a
think about
mulligan, a do-over.
you can mulligan a murder, right?
Right.
If you can catch him the second time.
Well,
they'll see
maybe
you
the
coming.
murders were the dreams, and they are still
mean-
okay. Like what?
Well,
are
maybe
we?
it's like
I don't know.
like an It kind of thing, or like, have you ever watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
No.
I
so,
love Killer Clowns.
That's one of my favorite Halloween
It's
movies.
so good.
Well, they wrap them in cotton candy, and I used to always confuse it with Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It was very confusing.
Very different
Very
stories,
different,
bud.
but
Very
it's
different.
close
Cotton
enough
candy.
clowns that are committing murder.
murderous
Yeah, but
clowns.
some are cartoony, some are Stephen King-y.
Hey, look,
Kingish,
King-ish,
kingly,
King-esque.
kingisk,
Genghis Khan.
King-Ockian,
Genghis Khan.
Genghis
Khan. All right, that's the winner, bud. But well, no. So you think about Wes Craven reinvented this genre twice, right? Because with Freddy, he creates all kind of these cliches and things,
Right.
and then he creates Scream,
Right.
and it all becomes self-aware after Scream.
But I think Scream is still in this kind of feel.
I mean, they're all slasher, but what I'm saying is,
Like
where
a Freddy Krueger.
Freddy had like the one-liner quips and like and creative
Did he,
kills and
though?
stuff.
He wasn't
I
very.
think that's only in the other one.
He's
Like
funny
this
here.
one, he wasn't very funny.
Yeah, he's just.
He's kind of funny.
He's just a dude.
I mean, he's pretty funny for it.
What? I'm your
Kitty
boyfriend
diddler.
now.
Oh, on the tongue
You know
and the
what I
phone. You
like,
There was not a lot of one-liners from Freddy.
no, I think
There's
Nancy
some,
had
I
more
mean-
jokes.
Is it like, well, in Scream there's always a kill like in the first 5 minutes or something like that.
Right,
Drew
right,
Barrymore
right.
talking on the phone
Yeah.
or whatever. Is that a Wes Craven-esque thing for someone who doesn't know horror? Because he had a quick kill in this one too.
I think that's just the 10-page rule. And they're
That
just
you have
trying
to have a kill before
Yeah,
you
they're
finish
just
that.
trying to get that
Okay.
going. But it's so just think about the self-awareness of Scream. Scream is just an homage to horror movies. Like,
Yeah.
it's a billion references laid on top of each other, and then in the shots are an additional billion references. So it's Tarantino in that way, I guess, in
Yeah.
some aspects. But after Scream comes out, like a million of these self-aware, I Know What You Did Last Summer came
Right.
out, and like I Know Who
Scary
Killed
movie.
Me, scary movie, like this was kind of Wes Craven is the wellspring for the genre in a lot of ways.
I concur.
Word, son.
I couldn't have said it better. What was that?
Oh, it was actually Freddy.
It's Freddy.
Go to bed. Go to bed. No, wait. No, wake up.
No, wait.
Ah, am I asleep now? I don't know if this podcast is a dream.
That's the
You just
opposite
hear a
of what
white
you should
noise
do, Ty.
machine turn on. You
Go
hear
to
whale noise.
Exactly.
Hey, Ty, I'm your boyfriend now.
I knew it. Wait, there's a tongue coming out of this microphone.
That was like that was the only thing that was like kind of funny to me.
Yeah, they get more cartoony as they go down the road.
Because they know they want people to react. Like, that's what they do. The test audiences.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's why
well-
Chucky, it's like
I never-
crazy.
And it's also, as much as people like to kind of poo-poo the genre, this genre has given birth to more like future talented actors than maybe any other genre. I mean, partially because they're so cheap to make, but
Right.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Halloween, right?
Nepo baby.
For sure, Nepo baby. Johnny Depp, Nightmare on Elm Street. Nev Campbell started in slasher. Jennifer Aniston started in slasher. Like
One of my favorite interviews was when George Clooney left
Disney.
ER. When he left Disney?
No, Disney has created more.
People.
Disney and Barney.
No.
that's a meat grinder, bud.
No.
Oh, you mean like the
like has Britney Spears,
Spears.
Justin Timberlake, Selena.
Yeah,
like
but
that's
go through all of
music.
them.
That's music. That's not
They're
acting.
actors too.
Well, now.
all
They're
of
barely
them
They
are
crossed
actors.
over. They
They're
went over.
barely actors.
Well, listen, we're talking about the horror flicks, and just because they don't pay, and there's so many of them, there's opportunity. There was an interview with George Clooney when he sort of made it big, and I forget what news, entertainment news program was there, and they're like, "We're going to show you a clip, George," and it was like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and it's George running like from this thing, and the woman was like showing it like a gotcha, and George is watching it like serious as a heart attack, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, why did you do that? Why did you do that?" And he's like, "Because I'm an actor and they offered me the part and I took it."
Yeah.
I
Like,
have
and
rent.
I loved it. It was like, because I'm an actor and I auditioned and they gave it to me and they paid me and I wanted to work.
Oh, Clooney's always classy. Though.
It was
He's got the
classy because, you think like, oh gosh, why did I, no, he was like, I needed a job.
best. And you know,
So I ran from a tomato.
and
We've all been there.
Exactly. He must be allergic.
Jennifer Aniston has been ashamed of the Leprechaun forever, and I love that movie, and it
Valid.
makes me so angry. What?
I haven't seen it in a while.
I don't know if you matter with that Jack and Jill stuff, bud.
Okay, look.
Can you do a leprechaun imitation?
I need to like hear a sound
Oh, you need
bite
sound bites.
before I can do anything.
I need my gold, bud.
Oh my God, I need my gold, but
That's a terrible.
I don't even know what that was. It's like Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies. I need my gold, bud. They're gold in those hills.
What was that last part?
I was doing Roscoe P. Coltrane from Them Dukes.
Them Daisy Dukes, bud. Woo!
Help.
Passers-by.
Be funny if he just ran in here, picked you up, and ran away. I think Mary got
That's the
abducted.
last we saw of me.
That'd be a good bit.
Pay somebody to come in and run.
At your
Ran off
funeral, at your eulogy, I'll say
You're
she
not invited.
No, we're gonna do a podcast from it. Like, okay,
Yeah.
we're Mary.
Mic me up. You just get the
Like,
death
no, afterwards,
tropes
we're like, okay, what'd you guys think of that funeral? Yeah. Just,
pre-game, post-game, my funeral.
I'll tell you one thing: the only thing Mary loved more than a funeral was
Jack and Jill.
Anthony Perkins.
Norman Bates. I could have changed him.
Look, I'm not getting into this.
It's on your
I have my
tombstone,
own
bud.
theories about this movie. I think it was good.
I liked it.
How do you feel about the I feel the introduction to Freddy was a little lackluster in some ways.
Well, they didn't know what they had, so it's like they had a villain. It's like
Squiggle arms, like
no, the very first shot. you mean.
yeah.
But
It's
no,
him, "Ah!"
yeah, but it's kind of like
could've been
showing
better.
him, like, I guess his ability, like, that he can become a rope and strangle
He could
Rod
become-
in the prison, and he can become anything. Anything you want to be.
Water.
Just believe.
he could become.
Well, that's my issue with it. It's like she knew for a very long time that the whole thing was kind of like that energy-based thing. That like she could literally just stop being afraid. Like,
Wasn't
same
it
thing as
everything?
It,
Isn't you give everything
really.
your energy?
Where like you just don't be afraid of them.
It was crazy. Like, here's 1984, and the message is the message is very much like it is today. Like in therapy and stuff, they say don't give energy to it, or
I don't know.
you're
I don't have a therapist.
well,
You should.
what I exactly
I know.
just watch TikTok videos. No, but like about
Okay, that was actually a read.
They-
Like, that was filthy.
But listen, if they like, no, they'll talk about like narcissism. Don't give or abusive relationships. Don't give energy
I
to
think
it.
that's just being told to you.
Well, yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe it's what is it? Your algorithm.
Yeah, your algorithm
Don't you
knows
get those
something
pop
that
up all
we
the
don't.
time? Take care of yourself, Ty. Run from it. Don't give energy to it. Ty.
You
It's
can
just
leave
your
the room
mom
when your wife
messaging.
starts hitting you, bud. So,
It's just your wife sending you daily affirmations.
Exactly.
So-
Like don't give energy to something and it'll go away. Like that was like that's the moral of
but
this
she
story.
continues to just be like, oh no, like
So-
shut up.
But at the very end, she doesn't. She's like, that's
yeah,
it.
after everyone's
I
died,
want my friends back. I'm not giving you energy.
it's done. Closed casket.
It's Alice in
Like,
Wonderland. You're nothing but a bunch of playing
They're
cards.
buried.
kind of.
They're in the ground.
that's true. We did
So-
Yeah.
But was that a dream? I don't know. I'm getting confused. Jake,
this is
back to
right
you.
where I'm at. But so this was Freddy
Nice.
was based on it was a thing that went around in the 70s. There were refugees from
clap.
I was waiting for somebody set that up.
HMONG. Don't what? You're
He said something that was going around in the 70s, and she said the clap.
oh.
You set her up for that. You'll have
I
to,
need-
you'll
I
have
need-
to edit
On
all
the
this
same
out.
page
I
as
know,
me.
but I was trying to think of what it
So-
was. If he would have changed the decade, I would have had a different thing.
So
Who was president again? It was
Jimmy Carter.
Taft.
God.
Wait, in 76? What are we talking about?
I don't know.
Did he drown in a bathtub?
No, he got his
Nobody
stuck in the
should've.
faucet.
That's right.
You got what?
He got stuck in the bathtub.
I thought you said something wildly different.
I thought he drowned.
He didn't. He didn't die in office.
Taft didn't?
No.
Okay.
It's only been like what, JFK,
Who's the one that got
Lincoln.
Well, no, they were all assassinated, but wasn't there one that caught a cold at
Yes,
his?
three
William
names.
Henry Harrison.
William Henry Harrison.
Harrison. Caught a cold
because
at the
his inauguration
inauguration?
speech was like an hour long, and it was cold,
It's raining.
and he was a frail little guy.
And he caught the flu or something.
I think pneumonia. I think it was pneumonia.
It was the clap,
It was
right?
the clap.
The clap
Yeah.
for you that it caught. Yeah.
You didn't
And
see
that was
what
in
happened after the
1976.
inauguration.
Matter of
The
fact.
real inauguration.
Had to warm him
Yeah,
up.
so these refugees came to America. Yeah, so we're getting back on track because Mary can't be contained, and the best you can do is just move forward. I'm gonna start muting her sometime.
Is this are refugees going to lead to this?
They are, yes.
Okay,
So
I got to hear this.
So yeah, Mary. So no, but so they were here, but the one kid kept saying, "I'm afraid to go to sleep because I'll die in my sleep." And they're like, "No, you won't. No, you won't." So a bunch of these people, these refugees, fell asleep
Where are you talking?
and died
When?
in the 70s. This was and this inspired A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Really?
Yes.
Wait,
so
I
it came
wanna
from
clarify
news
that
articles.
I'm not laughing at refugees dying.
Yes, you are.
So
Only
wait,
a little.
Mary's
what happened?
racist.
is that what? Isn't
Not
that
about
like,
this.
was it like a Jim Jones thing where they all drank something?
No, that it was all under mysterious. This is
What's in the Benadryl?
That's
not enough arsenic for you, bud. So
I keep calling her Bub. Hey, Bub.
Hey, bud.
Why are you saying Bub?
I thought it was with the D.
No, I think it's Bub.
it could be whatever you want it to be, Ty.
Hey, stop it, Bub.
Hey,
It's like a 1940s gangster movie. Hey, Bub.
it's a bud. See.
Nobody
So wait,
calls me.
wait a minute. So there was.
There was an article that came out in Los Angeles, right?
right.
When Wes Craven was younger. He may have even still been. He was an editor in porn films for a while.
They were.
So I don't know if you knew that, but that's fact. So he may have still been doing that, and he was reading these articles about these refugees that they kept saying, "We're afraid to go to sleep. We're going to die. We're going to die," and they went to sleep and died in their sleep from mysterious circumstances. Like there's no medical reason. There was no
Did someone
explanation.
like threaten them? Like, hey, I'm gonna kill you in your sleep.
sleep.
And they were like, oh, I don't actually want to go to sleep. We're gonna die.
No, Bob.
That's
More
weird.
than
Like, it's super-
117 refugees.
yeah. No, it's a weird thing
no
Unexpected
autopsies.
death syndrome. Sudden.
Yeah.
It's like SIDS, but for refugees.
for adults. Yeah.
For adult refugees.
It's because of the altitude or something. Like they're just
No.
not used to the area.
They have never been able to explain it. They just some
That's
of them
why
were
it's
like
called sudden unexpected death syndrome.
yeah, because
Sons.
sons. That's right, sons.
SUDS.
No.
Sudden, unexpected death syndrome.
Yeah, I don't know why
SUDS.
there's an N in there.
Oh, sons.
Sons.
Unexpected. I guess that's the. It should be suds.
It's suds, buds.
They drank themselves to death.
on
Suds
suds.
on beer.
Ba-da-ba. But
That's
yeah,
horrible.
No.
What year was that?
1970s.
70s, yeah. And Craven read that and was like, "Oh, I got an idea." And many years later,
I
he
think it
came up
was
with Freddy Krueger.
Probably like stress related.
I'm
They
sure.
were fleeing Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam from genocide because of genocide.
Or maybe they were gassed or something.
Or maybe
No,
like,
they came to America, so they left their home countries because they were being murdered by the bushel.
But where did they get the notion, or who told them that they were going to die?
That was nobody, because of,
If
you
we
have
go
to
to
think
sleep.
about language barriers and things like that. They just kept saying, if we go to sleep, we're going to die, we're going to die. And they, of course, they're people, so they got to sleep. And they went to sleep and died.
That has been translated into many nighttime stories for little kids.
Yep.
Let me tell you about the Cambodian refugees.
Yeah.
117. Good
you
night.
sit down with
Good
your
night.
parents with this nice big book.
And they all died. Good night.
The end.
Exactly.
Good night.
Do you want the light off?
How did that one? What's his face? And that's the new. Or that's the way it is. You know what I mean?
Paul Harvey. Isn't it Paul
No,
Harvey?
what's his face?
Walter Cronkite.
Yeah,
Concrete,
Walter
yeah.
Cronkite.
Concrete.
Cronkite. Concrete.
Water concrete.
Water concrete.
Yes.
But Paul Harvey
Isn't
used to
that what
do
he
it
said?
too. Paul Harvey used to do a thing with, I'm Paul Harvey and I'm really old because I'm saying this. No, he had a sign off too.
But wasn't Walter Cronkite's was like?
Yeah.
And that's I was
And
about
that's
to
the
quote
news.
Glee, and that's the way Sue sees it.
Yeah. Sees it.
I've never seen Glee. I've seen like episodes, like random episodes.
I've seen a little bit. I don't watch a lot of television, so.
Okay. Cool guy over here. Cool Bubba.
Anyway,
over
back to
here.
the film society.
I'm too busy watching movies, bud.
Listen, on Tuesday, Bub. Hey, Bub. On Tuesdays, I do the TV Society.
It's just on Tuesdays. On Thursdays morning. No, it's actually Friday evening. I do it with my cats, and it's just the Pride and Prejudice.
No, that's right.
1995 BBC.
Again.
They do a podcast, but without any of the equipment.
It's a one and done.
And I'm not even recording it. It's just me in my living room talking.
Is that
to
thing
myself.
rolling? Good. And that's how I
I'm
feel
talking
about
to
that.
camera
Exactly.
one. Just, oh.
And the cats are on. What do you think about it, Fluffy?
I actually did find a great. I'm continuing on what we talked about last installment. I found a great thing for Aurora and I to read related to Psycho.
Ooh,
And
like
it's
a
like
fan fiction?
It's like Alpha Omega.
Oh, that may be good.
It's
Wait.
like Omegaverse.
Is it actual Psycho fan fiction?
Yeah, and
Oh, I may
it's
have to be a
like
guest star on
Beta or Omega. Would you please? Actually,
Yeah.
I'm so serious. I'll make you read it though, because one of
Exactly.
us has to read it aloud for the
We'll borrow
audience.
this equipment.
Yeah, you can join too.
I know a guy that's got the equipment, bud.
Yeah, you can come on
Bub,
the
everyone's
podcast.
Bub tonight.
You can come
And
on the
this has been
podcast.
the Bub podcast.
No, but I think
What's up,
it was
Bub?
like Omega or Beta Norman. And
Really?
it's like I just read the blurb about it because I didn't want to spoil it.
Are you saying, wait, so
Has Aurora seen Psycho?
I would imagine. Actually,
Yeah,
I don't know because
maybe.
I thought I had seen it.
would Norman Bates be the beta?
Well, I think he was either the Beta or the Omega.
Do you
I can't
think-
remember. There's a difference.
Do you think he would be a master of it?
No, no. He's setting you up for a dirty joke. That's all.
I'd like to keep going. No, I mean I'd like to hear the punchline. Is what I. No. What do you mean by that?
I was just asking if he was a master beta, bud.
Nah, funnel Bub.
Oh, Master Beta.
Yeah, they-
Because I was
There you
like,
go.
I've done it with like fishing,
It's in that New York accent he's doing.
but Boston. It's a Master Beta, see?
You see?
Ah, see?
Hey, Bub.
Somebody masturbated materials, bud.
No, he was adequate. He was an adequate beta.
Okay.
No master for him.
No,
It would break
Jeez.
Mary's heart.
he was fine.
You know how she likes those dilfs.
I almost wore the hoodie, and then I was like, oh, I can't do it.
Yeah, because I'd make 1,000 more
I know,
jokes.
that's why I couldn't do it.
And I'd cut 80% of them out again.
I went,
yeah.
I
I
went
didn't
to
see
listen
that.
to the last episode.
Is it up?
I don't know.
It is up.
Is
yeah.
it now?
It's up. It's been up. It's been up. It's been up, bud.
Didn't look.
But it was 8 minutes long, and we recorded for an hour and a
It's
half.
2 minutes. It's just, hey,
I'm
today we
gonna be
watched.
honest.
And that
then
was a
it's
good
cut.
episode. Thank you all.
I'm gonna be honest. The Alfred Hitchcock, Alfred Hitchwinky, I had to leave it in. It made me laugh so hard. I honestly, to tell you how shitty of a human being I am, I played it back like 2 or 3 times to laugh at myself.
Because you said Alfred Hitchcock.
Albert, yeah, Hitchwinky when he was a baby, you know.
That was not funny.
It was funny to me. It was a laugh riot.
He added
He's there
edited laugh track.
slapping his
Exactly.
knee. Yeah. There's a canned studio audience.
It was a real.
It's all his
Those
laugh
are my
overlay.
favorite.
Of goats.
Yeah, so we brought the goats into the canned laughter. I think it was a dolphin.
I could do a dolphin noise.
Do it, please. Do it.
What was
It was a dolphin. Do it.
that? Was not
No,
a dolphin.
I know. I want you to
No,
do it.
I used to be able to do it. It's like. You see what I'm getting at?
I think.
You see this
You're
face I'm
squeezing
making?
a dolphin?
You see this face I'm making? I make it 2 times. When somebody farts and I smell it, and when you make that noise.
Do it. Come on, one more time. Commit this time. Commit this time. Look away. Don't look at it. Don't look at her.
Don't look at me.
I'm looking away.
Hold on, I'm almost there.
Commit.
All right, almost.
The dolphin falling. That's
Like
it.
that.
close.
I'm
The
like
last one was a
sweating.
dolphin falling
This
off
is
the building.
intense. Wait, it's like.
Oh.
That was not a dolphin.
So Nancy survived the end. So that's it.
I don't
Allegedly.
know. Here's the thing about that I don't know. So the roof comes up, right? And the car is wearing Freddy's sweater, and it's smoking a lot, and they're all trying to get out, but they can't, and the car's driving itself.
No, it was foggy. Boy, it's so foggy, but it was sunny and foggy.
See, I thought it was smoky because they
made a reference
set Freddy
to it.
on
They're like,
fire.
Boy, it's
Well, it could have
boy,
been
it's,
smoke, but they were like, "Oh, it's foggy."
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, it's so unpredictable." And then
Could have been.
maybe we're inside Freddy's dream.
Oh, no, that's interesting.
That's why I'm here.
That's interesting.
Okay.
I think
You're
that-
here for
well,
aesthetics.
I like that theory.
Let's all agree on that. Freddy's dream. Freddy's dream. Freddy's dream. There
I'm
we
not
go.
agreeing to
all those in
shit. I don't know.
All those in favor that Jack and Jill is a great movie.
Yes.
Nah, but
Opposed.
Hip hip.
hip hip boo.
The nays.
Call
have
back.
it. The ahs have it.
See, I can't do it either.
Have you ever met someone that's laughed like that? Like,
Yeah,
like, like a tickle in the fucking elbow.
Yeah, and I immediately push them into a well.
No, it's like when somebody has such a bad laugh that nothing's funny anymore. Like
That's
it
how-
immediately becomes unfunny.
I mean, normally if somebody's got a terrible laugh, it becomes funnier to me,
Yeah.
but I'm awful.
It's about. I don't think no one's laugh is good. You know what I mean? No one has a good
Oh
laugh.
no, there's people that have.
I've heard
There's
great
some
laughs.
great laughs.
I mean, not me, but I've
people we
heard.
know.
I like
I'll
Seth
say it off air.
Rogen's.
Who?
Seth Rogen.
That is a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ha ha. I can't say
I
it.
like it. No, my laugh is terrible. Whenever we were doing that thing for the lemonade stroll, and I laughed, that was my real laugh.
I know, I
That
have it on
was
my phone.
real laugh. I have it on my phone too. That's traumatic. The fact that they posted the whole thing.
Yeah.
Me dead.
And then you like stare at the camera. You're like, that was real.
I
found that funny.
It was me like, ha ha ha. That was really funny.
Yeah.
Just so the audience knew. And it was a really good film. I think.
I do too.
I don't know.
This is 4 stars
mean-
out of 4.
I would give it
I think it's a lot of fun. I
3.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
3 out
like
of 5.
3 out of 5.
I think it has a
3
lot
out
of
of
rough
5, 7 out of
edges.
10.
Yeah, I agree.
But here's the thing, though.
Thank you.
I love movies with rough edges. Like, you could tell they loved making that movie.
Could
know
you?
what I mean? I think so. I think it was a lot of fun to make. I would venture to say.
Okay.
He doesn't want to get sucked into a bed and shoot blood up into the ceiling. That sounds like a.
And there was a lot of like flipping of sets. So sets had to be
Yeah.
built upside down because water came from the bed up.
Oh, I thought that's just how that worked.
Right.
but no.
It's like the whole Fred Astaire dancing on the ceiling. Or Lionel Richie.
Dancing on the okay.
Dancing with myself?
No.
No. No! Out of all of the awful things, that's what offends you? That one thing? It wasn't.
I'm sensitive.
I get
You
it.
hit a soft
She's a
spot.
wallflower.
I get it. You suck, bud. It's understood.
Bub. All right, bub.
Mocha.
All right. Are we? Do we hit all your points?
No.
Do we need to wrap this up?
We hit none of them because we can't stop talking about Jack
Okay,
and f***ing Jill,
speed
bud.
round.
Speed
I
round.
brought it up
Just go down
once.
there. We'll say yes and no. Next issue.
Yeah. So, no.
Bub.
So 10 minutes. Jesus, cheese and rice, Mary.
The fuck did I?
I know. We're just sitting here.
I was waiting.
you had the floor. You're like, and so in 10 minutes. Oh my God, who interrupted me? No one.
So okay, so we go into the first dream. We're just gonna do this now. We're gonna fly through it because Mary is awful. No, it just makes me laugh to say that at this point.
Mary's
So-
not awful.
We get the what?
Mary's not awful.
You just look
Mary's a
over-
ray of sunshine. What? I'm crying.
Look over, I'm crying.
He's so mean, Tom. You said it was nice and fire. But no, so we.
You're gonna start getting this how to avoid abuse algorithms. Okay. Dude, I would.
So, yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying.
See
Let's
the
wrap
list.
up this, Jason. Is this a dream?
God, it's a nightmare.
It's never ending.
And what's the date? October the 13th,
16th?
Friday? Okay, no.
It's the 16th.
Okay, but
Friday was the 13th,
right?
Yeah, it was. Hi ha. So we get that opening, those sequences with the creation of the glove, right?
Right.
Which
Totally.
seems always out of context. And then we go to the dream that nobody dies in,
Okay.
and we get to hear. I think we hear Freddy, right? He's laughing.
We
he's in
get
the
Freddy's
shadows.
laugh, but we also get Freddy being abusive in the dream. He cuts her and she has the slashes. So when she wakes up, I think that was to establish that what happens in the dream doesn't stay in the dream. It's not Vegas. It comes out into reality because she was cut on her
Yes.
torso. And
Well-
then she was like, "Oh, you're scratching yourself, honey."
Well,
I'm like,
so
with a machete?
So let me ask you this, because I never thought about this until watching the movie tonight. Does this have the first jump scare in it? It
No.
certainly can't be the first one, right?
And all
What
of
jump
cinema?
scare?
In horror. Well, I guess cinema. really.
No.
What was
my
the
goodness,
jump
I'm-
scare though? Did
There
I
was a
miss
jump
it?
scare.
Like
When
in
Freddy
the first 10
showed
minutes.
Oh,
up.
okay, so
Like
I
just
missed
something. But no, there's got to be more than this.
Yeah, because
I
84
thought it would
seems
have
late.
been one of like a
but-
silent movie even.
You're right.
Just like, and then the piano dude's like, da, 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 da.
Then he-
like, yeah, like a little, yeah. And it's just Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah.
He goes from a piano to a foghorn.
A gong.
There's got to be jump scares elsewhere.
Yeah.
So then we get and this is the first 10 minutes. We get that jump scare. Then we get that great effect shot of pressing through the wall
Right.
and the
That's
wall
good, like the
returning.
elastic.
Then we get the teenagers boning because you have to have that in a slasher movie.
Right. That's early on.
With the unrealistic pull up of the blanket. I think it's
That
unrealistic.
bothered you.
It
Why is that
really-
unrealistic? I didn't see it. We
I
were
just-
fighting
It's just like a
fires.
general thing in movies.
I've
Yeah, they kinda
never
cover themselves.
Well, I've never experienced that in real life. That's the thing. Is like, you've seen me naked. Now look no more. You know, it's very strange.
Oh wait, was it between like the two of them? Like, did they wake up and
Yeah.
like realize?
No,
they had-
so they had just completed coitus. You like that word, do you, bud? And then,
post-coitus.
yeah, and then
Which character on Dukes of Hazzard.
Thank you.
Back to that.
Anyway, no,
Cletus.
we're going away from that. Post Cletus.
Keep going. Come on, we got to get through your
God
points.
damn it. So
And so afterwards, after they had sex, she pulled up.
She
they
pulls
pulled
up
the
which
cover, like she was
unders-
modest.
Do you have? No, like you know what I mean. Like,
It was
you're not-
cold. It was cold.
But here's
like,
the
she could have
thing.
been cold, but she was also. How old is she? Like, if they're like 15, especially if it's
Yeah.
one of her first times having sex,
But
that's
you're-
a reasonable response.
I
To
don't
be
think
like-
General
so.
thing though.
to be
I don't-
shy.
movies. It's,
I've known a lot of people with breasticles, and
Okay. Weird flex.
and it's never been a thing I've seen or experienced in my life. That's all I'm saying. Afterwards, somebody then
bothered
pulls
you.
it. It really, because I'm just like, it pulled me out of it because I was like, I've
It
never
was
seen
cold.
that thing.
Where's the
She could have
covers?
been cold. She's also being filmed. But like, no, that's
There's
like,
like 20 people behind the camera.
yeah,
so.
no.
Well, no, but and also that's
And
kind
it's
of
also they're trying to get probably a rating.
Why?
You know.
As-
But why would you even? But even if it was just like this real thing, why would you just want to?
Just hang
Because
on.
you're
Yeah,
hot.
just hang low, sweet cherry.
well because you've just been sweating and you're hot.
Carry me home.
It's all exercise, bud.
Thank you.
You don't leave the gym and crawl under a comforter. You know what I mean? Like it
Well,
just.
I also am wearing
Why
a
is
shirt
this the
at the
conversation?
gym. You know what I mean? What gym?
Maybe.
Are you going to?
And a nudist collar.
Listen, I think that we're just analyzing this way too much. Maybe she was just
Well,
modest.
it's because I think
She
if
was just
anything,
modest.
She was modest or just shy, especially because the whole thing is like, especially because you're talking about like women's sexuality in slasher films. Like if she's doing that, if she's taking that step and doing that in this film, we know she's gonna die. But like
True.
that doesn't mean she's a whore.
I'm not saying that's
Well,
not
she's
what
not
I said,
modest.
I
madam.
know you're not saying that, but that's the thing. Is like
How
that
dare
doesn't
you,
mean
madam.
she's a whore. Like she doesn't have to have her tits out.
I wouldn't call her a whore. I would call her
Slut.
wonderful.
I'd call
No.
her bub.
Yeah, I'd call her bub. But no, so God damn it.
Is it all about the blanket there? Of all these notes that you
What was
have
the
in front of you,
fabric?
Jake? It's like, yeah, exactly. That
It's
blanket was not
12
there. It was too
pages.
light. It was like, why didn't she just hang it all
just-
out? Swing
Mod-
low, sweet chariots.
it just seems like modesty after that point is a little bit. But also, again, I like the modesty of the film because the stereotype is that there is no modesty, that is exploitative,
Right.
right?
Listen, well,
and
I
so
think
that's nice, but also it's unrealistic to me.
I think probably, in all
Do
honesty,
you know what I found unrealistic
This
about
conversation.
the movie?
this conversation,
the
blanket,
serial killer.
So the
in your
movie
thing?
that existed in a dreamscape.
right?
That,
the
I
overall
think
concept.
that was kind of.
No, here's what I
Booyaka.
think. Here's what I think. Here's what I think.
We're
I
gonna
think.
call
Listen,
out.
I think that they were probably afraid of the rating, whatever rating they were going to get. So it would have been yes, because it would have been very easy to have more gratuitous sex.
Just like one areola.
Nancy changed her top with her back to it, so we saw bare back.
Even after the bath, she
And,
puts
yeah,
on the
well, and
robe
even
over
when
the
she was
towel.
pulled under the water in the bath, you could
Sure.
not see anything.
Well, the bathtub angle, though,
again-
the angle itself was kind of like,
revealing.
yeah, it was kind
But
of
it was
towing
not.
the line, but it wasn't. There
So
was bubble, it was
they were
nothing like
probably
that.
more concerned of a rating based on violence and horror and slashing. So there's like, let's just not do the sex stuff, so they
So-
can't double whammy us.
and this
if
brings-
they're interested in that.
This brings me to another interesting question that we're going to find the answer out to right now.
Was that
because
because like that?
what year did
Or
Evil
was
Dead
it-
come out?
Like?
81. So 3 years
18 or
before
19?
this, 20.
Oh, okay.
2081. Bud. So 3 years
I'll
before
have
this,
to catch that in a few.
Evil Dead comes out. Evil Dead gets an NC-17.
See,
And it is a lot of the violence, but it's also the nudity was flagged,
Right.
and the girl being raped by the tree vine
that always
was
gets
the big
flagged.
one. Yeah, nobody likes tree rape.
Speak for yourself. I don't know.
Next issue on there. Okay, now
Not
that we got the
touching that
blankets
one,
out of
bud.
it.
Moving
No,
on.
I think it was probably just let's make a horror flick. We're not making
Yeah.
it. And especially if he had that background,
Well,
like you
it-
said.
So yeah, so he did.
So he was probably conscious about
He
that.
did The Last House on the Left, which is a brutal film to watch, like truly brutal. And they left it unrated because of how hard the censors were going to be to
Yeah,
it.
so maybe he was just real
So-
kind of like
The same thing with The Hills Have Eyes, is they also were pretty rough. And those were his first two films. He's into film 5 now. So all the crazy stuff he probably wanted to do, he probably got out of his system.
Yeah.
And then he did Swamp Thing, which is like
Totally.
a comic book movie, actually. For
So
real.
what's on that list?
next issue.
Moving on. So,
next.
and then we get to, after the post-coitus scene, we get to the first dream kill,
Okay.
which is 10 minutes in.
Are we only 10 minutes in onto your list?
Yeah, but it's a short list.
Okay,
Okay, fine.
Don't worry about.
Yeah.
Bub.
Don't worry about my list.
Hey, bub. Keep going. Keep going, bub.
So- I can't even do that. Anyway, what was that? Was the sleep, and he cuts
Elevator.
her chest and
Yeah,
the
right.
blood, and she goes up to the ceiling, crawls around. Very poltergeist in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Because there was that great thing that was in the third act of Poltergeist where the mother is drawing up the
Yeah.
wall and ceiling, which is incredible. 15 minutes in, we go to our protagonist nightmare, which is where we get the actual introduction of Freddy.
Right.
Would you stop it? Sign language wasn't meant for profanity, madam.
Gloria.
Outrageous,
Sorry, I
Gloria.
have TMJ actually, and I was trying to see if you could hear my jaw pop.
So
Can
that's
you hear
fun.
it?
So 15 minutes we get.
So 15 minutes is the first nightmare. 5 minutes later, we get into her second nightmare,
So, Act
which is
one.
in the bathtub.
right.
And again, like, as sleazy as everybody treats slasher movies, like it could not have been shot. The shots could have not been more thought out. They were very careful about how they're doing. You know what I mean? It's very nice. It's beautiful imagery, by the way. The bathtub and thing under.
And they would have, they would have to build up the whole tub to get the camera thing there.
And correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be very wrong, but traditional. All right, Mary. So whenever I've seen that before, I saw it done like as a lake, and like the lake breaks, and you have that underwater shot that you can see the whole. You know what I'm talking about?
Like a Jaws thing. Almost.
Yeah, like a Jaws in a lot of ways. I don't think I've seen it used
in a tub.
Before. I could be wrong.
Sure it
I
has
think I
been.
have.
Yeah, but
because
I can't.
What's
name
that
it right
one?
there.
Oh, what's that one? Did we watch it here or did I? Oh, there's like a movie where the thing can only get you if you're in water. And it was like a very shallow amount of water. What is
Was that Blackwater? No.
No, but it's something like that. And I feel like there was a scene where it was just like a very minuscule amount of water. 'Cause like you said, you can drown in 2 inches. But it was like, then it was like pulled into that.
That was our takeaway of the day.
That's all I've learned.
And that's where we get the great the shot of him reaching the glove up.
Yeah.
between her, which is just
Twice. It was
brilliant. And I know I've seen that before, but that's what the whole one person that's ever seen anything I make. That's what I've seen all of this before. Well, it's because I'm ripping off everything I love.
Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Of cheating.
Of cheating.
Of plagiarism.
Well,
That's why we're doing Jill and Jack, which is a new movie that we're
Doing
Jill and
Mary
Jack.
and Joseph.
It's Jill and Jack because Mary is playing both Jill and Jack.
I'm actually doing Jack and Diane.
Just a little story, a little ditty,
Little ditty.
Little ditty.
Sucking chili dogs.
Easy.
So what was the outdoor nightmare scene? I'm trying to remember. So she leaves her house.
Where
That's why-
Johnny Depp is like watching her?
Well,
Or
he was
the
supposed to
first
be
one?
watching.
He was supposed to be, yeah.
Well, he was when for the most part, when she was outside, right? It wasn't until she was back inside that he was
fell
falling
asleep.
asleep.
Yeah, they fell asleep, and that's when the
'Cause he
nightmare
just
outdoors
peeks out of
comes
the
in.
tree and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, babe, still here."
Yeah.
I love Mike Myers in a lot of ways. When he
Glenn,
did
you
that.
bastard.
Yeah, Glenn.
Which was so unreasonable. Unreasonable, by the way.
Well, it's
that's what I felt.
well, 15-year-old using that language, it seems
Well,
very old school. You know?
No, I mean the way that she was like, "You couldn't stay awake until I woke up in the morning." Dude has to sleep. I think I turned
Sit
to
here
her
and
like,
watch
this isn't
me
Vietnam.
sleep.
Yeah,
I was at
sit
school
here
in the
and watch me
morning.
sleep.
Exactly.
Like what?
Yeah.
No, if somebody was like, "Hey, can you just sit here and watch me sleep?"
I think he tried,
No.
and he just fell asleep.
Yeah.
Also,
She didn't have
Isn't
the
that-
hidden coffee pot like she did later.
isn't that creepy though? Like somebody's gonna sit there and be like, "I'm
Not if
You
I'm
know, I
being
would
killed.
want to watch some. I would simply not succumb. Like I simply wouldn't.
You fell asleep?
No, yeah. I would go to sleep, but I simply wouldn't allow
Freddy to kill
Freddy
you."
to get to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course you would. You're in a dill spud. Moving on.
Not burn victims. Not him.
Hey, Bernies need love too, bud.
Bernie's are cool.
I love Bernie Sanders.
Weekend at Bernie's.
That's
Oh,
right.
That one?
Yeah. Or Bernie Sanders.
Okay.
Either one. Whatever.
James Bernie's.
You're so
Bird.
judgy, man. You're so judgy.
Bub?
Feel the bump.
You're judgy, bub.
You're she?
I'm Wolverine now. Because, Wolverine, the comic character. says
Next
fuck.
issue.
Yeah, moving on. Yep. You really run this. You're like, I got shit, man.
He's
I
like
got-
a tight
I got stuff to
ship.
do. It's midnight.
oh, no, it's. Oh.
It's 5 in the morning.
We didn't sleep because we're afraid.
So I'm assuming there was some type of metal wire involved with the hanging in the jail scene.
Why? Oh, you mean how they
Oh,
execute?
I
How
thought
it-
Freddy
yeah, how
actually
it-
did that.
It went and it wrapped.
Unless they did it stop motion. No, I think you're right. I think they probably had it inside of a wire and,
And
it
It could have
curved.
been
Yeah.
attached to a string, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
A fishing
I
wire
feel like
or
it would have
something.
had to have been attached, especially when he raises. Like he would have been on something. It would have been a lift.
Yeah, I think it was probably fishing wire, really thin fishing wire. So, like we'd
You
put
could
it.
finagle it
yeah.
like, through. And
Well, I'm
Because
certain.
to be more loopy, a wire would bend.
Yeah. But I'm assuming that they use the harness method because that's what you do when you hang somebody in any movies. They wear a harness and it goes behind your clothing, and then they lift you up by that, and it looks like you're hanging by your neck.
And he was up against the jail
walls,
bars, and the window. So yeah, they probably just hit the thing.
So that was my suspicion there. But I mean, for $1.1 million in '84, like some of these effect shots are kind of amazing.
Well, think about it. Well, that money went into building that tub.
For sure.
It went
sheer amount of
into
blood.
The sheer amount of blood. That probably went to
50
building
gallons?
upside down.
I thought it was more than that.
I thought it was 50. I can look that back
Two
up.
of the rooms were upside down. Two of the bedrooms were
They had
upside
to
down.
be.
Yeah,
Had
so
to be.
that's expensive. So we need something that's right side up and then flip the whole damn thing.
But what if they wanted to do it on a budget?
So, but then you get a lot
I
of
feel
magnets.
like that's a pretty big budget though, especially because there's like
You get Lionel
there's
Richie to
sets.
sing.
I feel like they're building
Oh,
like
what a
certain sets, but
feeling.
it's like homes and it's like a real boiler room.
Yeah.
And it's you know what I mean?
But the bedrooms, I think, were sets, but they were tiny. So
Yeah, and
so
they're
you could flip
probably
it.
being reused.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
The
probably.
layout is very similar.
I mean, that's
true. The bedrooms were similar.
Some of the stuff you really have to think about, right? Because it's
Not really. Next
how else
issue.
would
No.
You realize, wait a minute.
I'm-
That blanket.
No, I want it. What really? That's the last point.
But what
that Jesus time.
that blanket
That blanket.
just bothered me, man.
Sorry,
Oh gosh.
you make me sound skeevy, bud.
Darn
It seemed
it.
coarse.
He's not making it sound like anything.
Oh, I'm just skeevy. I appreciate that, Mary. I get it. I get it.
Just ski.
I get it, Jill. I understand. Or are you Jack right now? I'm not sure.
Next
I never
issue,
know.
bub. Bub.
Jack and I'm trying to get copyright.
I know.
strike.
Exactly. If we sing the whole time, we can't
Start
do it.
singing. What was I singing?
You're gonna
earlier?
flag me, bud.
Don't ease me.
500 gallons. Okay.
Islands in
Yeah,
the
I
Stream.
thought it was. I was gonna say I thought it was.
yeah, so they
100.
used 500 gallons of fake blood for this entire film.
Well,
Which is a
in
lot.
Johnny Depp's
Was about
demise,
about
or that was,
200.
yeah, exactly.
It was a
There,
lot.
John and John,
It was something.
500.
Kill Bill took the record, didn't it?
I
I
guess.
think for the what was that fight sequence called? The Blue Lotus
Yeah,
fight
yeah,
scene.
Yeah.
I missed that. I missed that category in Jeopardy. The
Did you?
most blood for 1,000. What is Kill Bill?
It's
What is-
weekly. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's weekly.
That was really good.
Jack and Jill had a lot of blood in
Yeah,
it.
they did.
Or was that just me scratching out my
those were in-
eyes?
It was the extended
It was
cut.
that. So
That pony.
They showed the,
The
I
pony.
still
the carnage that was left behind.
Shanka Tig Pony.
Oh, the humanity.
Al Pacino
I
killing
still-
himself over spurned lover.
I think the ending. I'm just gonna blow through. it. So
Oh, thank God.
We're with you.
so
Land this plane.
Unfortunately.
Land this plane, Jake. Land this
So
plane.
you know I'm tired of these f***ing snakes on this plane.
There. That was my favorite Freddy Krueger line.
Was it? So, but I would like to think that it was what you said that Freddy is dreaming, but I still think you're not supposed to have any idea what the hell is going on in that, because the ending is kind of Carrie-like, right? Where like, oh,
How
they're
did
dead.
Carrie end?
Oh, Carrie's great ending.
The hand popping up through the grave.
But then it was her dream. It was Amy Irving's dream. But then
You're
her
right.
mother tried to her mother was holding her and trying to get her to calm down. So there's no question what happened at the end of Carrie.
He was dead the whole time.
Yeah, that's true. Well, so well, the other
Carrie's a
thing,
girl.
He sees dead people.
that's the Sixth Sense. That's,
spoiler alert.
that's to
It's been out for ages.
yeah, to a 30-year movie.
Carrie died. Hold me, mama. Oh, Piper Laurie died. That's sad. Carrie's mother.
All right,
No, I'm sad.
She just died.
But,
yesterday.
so the-
What'd you do?
I didn't know anything. She was
know what he
95. She was
Hello. I get
95,
it.
not 925.
I get it. You got
She was 95.
What a way to die of living. To end your living.
What a way to end your life.
Yeah.
She was
me in that
95. Let's do it.
writer's
Let's do it. She was 95. What a way.
to end your living. Oh,
Why did you just go down so low? But anyway, she
I'm
was
so
95.
Dude, I can
What a
carry
way
a tune in
to.
a bucket. I don't know.
You were
what
singing.
to
When I
make.
started singing, you just totally dropped the floor. You're like, she was not 95.
Do you
What a way.
know? Do you know who else couldn't carry a bucket? Jack and Jill when they fell down the hill?
Jack and Jill up the
So
hill.
that-
No, they could. They carried it up the hill, fetch pail water.
Jack
but they got
fell
to the top.
down.
Jack fell down. Wasn't it about like? Anyways, no.
No, moving on.
It was
So-
a dream, and Freddie was in it. Jack and Jill were a dream. Go ahead.
So
Next
my
issue.
yeah. So,
Not
next issue. Get through it, bud. I don't care.
Bub.
So, so my assumption, right?
Piper Laurie.
Shut.
Respect your elder
They've
young
never
lady.
spoken.
So,
Wait, we're gonna edit this
Jesus
out, and this is
Christ.
gonna be the final stop right here. Jake, go.
So when her mother gets pulled through the door window, my assumption is they set the camera, right? They started to pull her. They cut. They got a rubber spatula.
Oh, I
or a
thought they
rubber
actually
doll.
did that.
No. No, listen. I think, but didn't they cut back to her like the hand?
What do you mean?
Listen. I think that's a broken up shot, Jake.
That's what I'm saying.
So I think that the
So it's
hand
a
comes out,
splice.
grab her. They cut back for the kids. Nancy's mommy, and then they cut back and it's a. Whew, I think it was
But
just pulled up.
they show
pulled
her
up.
going through for a
Right,
second.
right.
I think
I think it was
her
a
for
mannequin.
second. Yeah, I don't think anybody watched that and was like, oh, they really did that to her.
Oh, see, I explained
And
that for
no
you,
one
Mary.
really died in the filming of this either.
Wait, what?
All right, so you barely got to speak. Do you have any thoughts?
I'm good. I'm good.
Call us all Bub, Gloria.
Yeah.
It's cathartic.
I'm good, Bub. And you
Just the dead eye.
and you got to pronounce the final B in that too. Bub. 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 You got it, Bub.
Big bub on the
What was that
Say
dog?
Mr. Pibb. Pibb. Yeah, Mr. Pibb.
It's really important that
yeah.
you pump out your
Yeah,
P's.
just say Mr. Pibb like that.
Pib.
Yeah, say Mr. Pibb.
Mister? Pib.
It's not Mr. Pibb. You got to say both. Mr. Pibb. It's really sad.
Mr. I sound like a victim. Mr. Pib.
You are a victim of this podcast,
Mister.
and your mind is
95.
also a victim.
What a way
To Jack and Jill.
living.
Good. That was good.
Okay,
You did
and
it.
then no longer getting by.
She's all dead. And
No longer living. They just use your body.
then you.
How do you use the bot? Never mind.
All right.
Back on track. So anyway,
That was
we're
a
gonna
great thing
wrap
of
this
Friday
up.
the 13th. I mean, Nightmare
just
on
a-
Elm Street.
It's one of those.
Halloween?
Yes,
Exactly.
Happy Halloween, y'all.
You're a monster.
I come here
Bob-
out of the kindness of
Exactly.
my heart.
And generosity
After saving
After I
Children
saved
from a fire.
children,
from a fire.
cat, orphan.
And inform the community of the event.
I was. As
She was an
soon as we
on-the-spot
heard those
photographer.
sirens,
Member of
the
police
scanner comes on. As a member of the local scanner community, it's very important. Download the scanner app
What is it?
on iOS. The one I use is so fun, and you can have it. So I have it send me a notification when more than 50 people start listening to the scanner. So I know when
Ooh.
something juicy
Send me
starts to happen.
Send me the app.
It's this.
Mary-
If you just look up scanner radio, and it's so much fun too because you can
Oh no, you
listen.
sent me that. You sent me that.
Well, I sent you a screenshot of that to show you over 200 people were listening to it. But you can go to it and you can go to popular ones. And so like Indianapolis is always very popular. But one time I was listening when the riots in Philly were happening. I was there. And then there was like a chase in New York. It's so much fun. One night I just went to sleep with it next to me, but then it does that like almost like dial-up internet kind of like
That is your next horror flick, Jake. I'm telling you.
that's what it does. And I was
The
like,
scanner, and she's sucked into it. Then, so she's sucked into like all whatever's happening, all the violence.
I would
but
like
it's
to.
just like a domestic call.
Nightmare on College Avenue.
Get me in that. Get me in.
I want to thank you guys for doing this, and everybody all the single person, Mary, the single person that
It's me. I'll
listens.
comment in
Oh, the
gratitude.
single person.
Oh, the
Yeah.
single person.
And I want to thank the Donnie and Phil for letting the Carters do this, and the staff here at Hotel Gunter, and the Maryland State Arts Council. Thank you guys for keeping us going.
And to Freddy Krueger.
And I apologize to everybody that listened to Mary ramble on about Jack and Jill for
It's
45
literally
minutes.
just
She'll cut it. You'll cut it out.
I will.
This will be a 24-second podcast.
I'm gonna create my
It'll
own
just all be glorious
podcast.
bits.
Blankets.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all the blanket.
It's all
That's
about the
all
blanket.
he keeps
What's the
in.
deal?
All about the-
Right.
What's the deal with blankets?
What's the deal with blankets?
Am I talking about?
about?
Am I talking about pulling them up? Am I talking about Michael Jackson's oldest son? You don't know.
I think that's a baby.
Deep
Prince
cut.
was the oldest. Prince was
Raspberry
Michael Jackson's oldest. Blank was the baby.
But we're talking the baby in '90.
Yes, it was
Something.
Blanket.
He dangled him right over the.
Yes, he dangled
From
the
a
blanket.
blanket.
A blanket.
a blanket over his head, and his legs were
around.
Oh yeah.
Baby blanket.
Babies are just made out of Jello, really, aren't they?
Well, they have a self-destruct button, right?
Babies?
Like, no, they do. Seriously.
It's a little-
I have a
little
nephew.
fontanelle.
I know.
They have a soft spot on their head.
That's
I've
what I'm
been told.
talking about. I've been told. I've heard through the grapevine.
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, before we.
No, this is prenatal care for some people.
Now we're going into our
With
next
these- with this
podcast.
country's
prenatal-
restrictions.
the Prospect Film Society.
Don't-
prenatal care.
Don't press your baby soft spot. That's
Remember
the
to
moral of the
spay and neuter
story.
your dogs and cats.
Hey,
You need
that's
like
Bob
a
Barker.
Bob Barker
That's
meme.
copyrighted.
Oh, he
That's
died too.
copyrighted.
Is that copyright? He's dead.
He died too. He was in his 90s too.
He was in. You know what movie he was
95.
in? Billy Madison.
Yep.
No, he wasn't in Billy
Price
Madison. He's
is
in Happy
Wrong.
Gilmore. Price is Wrong.
Wes Craven died at 76.
Oh.
R.I.P.
I didn't know he was sick.
That was a while ago.
I know. come
You're
on.
behind the times.
All right. Thank you so
Yes,
much for
thanks.
having us.
Thanks.
What happened to the man?
Good night.
Thanks.